why don't you give us a little bit of a backstory on what inspired and what motivated you to get in shape and, really make that change and adapt that healthy and fit lifestyle?
So I've always been an athlete for as long as I can remember. I started swimming before I could walk. My parents threw me in the water, no swimmies, like figured it out. All through elementary school, I played basketball and I swam, and I played a little bit of volleyball. Got into middle school, and I had to make a choice between volleyball and swimming. Straight up went for volleyball. I was like, I'm not getting sick getting out of the water in New York at 20, like whatever, 0 degrees in the middle of the winter. Forget it. So I started playing volleyball. I got on my, what was I? I was a sophomore, which was unheard of. Started playing for what is it called? Not junior. What is the
Varsity.
varsity? Thank you. That's how long I've been out of high school. So I started playing varsity my sophomore year of high school. Started Went to Penn State, and we like my coach. Well, not for college. I went for the summer. My coach told us that if you don't go to Penn State for the summer and spend the summer program there, you don't get to be on the starting line. We had the shit kicked out of us. Now, I mean, I was again always very athletic. Went to sports camps, sleepaway camp for 8 weeks. Always very, very, very athletic. And I always knew I was like I had a lot of endurance and I was really strong. Like I'm 5'4.5", but I was always told like you're built, like you have this big build and you're supported. So I went all through high school and I kind of ate what I wanted. I wasn't crazy like 6 times a day. Got to do like did all my meals in, meal prep, didn't do that shit. It was really just about just getting the fuel in. Like anybody in high school knows, you had like pasta parties like the night before a big game. So that's I started like playing around with my diet because I really wanted to be like I wanted to go to college and I wanted to be shredded. I wanted to be the girl that people were like, I want to look like that chick. So senior year, just playing volleyball, which was a lot. I was up. School started at 8 o'clock. We had practice before school and after school. So I was practicing 6 o'clock in the morning. Finished class at 3 o'clock. I wasn't getting home till 7, 8 o'clock at night. Didn't matter. Played on the weekends, like all year round. That's basically how that went. Went off to Boston University my freshman year of college. State of the art gym. Like, yeah, when I'm talking, I'm like the best of the best athletes go to this gym to work out, and that wasn't even the athletic gym. That was just the gym for the school. The athletic gym was a whole other story. Um, Started like really amping up my training. I was like, I'm not playing a competitive sport anymore. I want to get back into it. I took my routines that my coaches used to give me when I was in high school, and I just rolled with it. And then I started doing like more research of okay, I want to look like Paige Hathaway before she became huge. That's who I really wanted to look like a lot. And I started putting on a decent amount of muscle, but I wasn't eating. So I was kind of like in that weird stage that people you look like you work out, but like is it genetic? Like you don't know because you're not eating enough. And then like finals came and my life hit a fucking wall. Like it got to the point I didn't even want to be in college anymore. So I left Boston University, transferred home to Long Island University because now I took this massive weight of fees and tuition because tuition there is an Ivy school, $60,000 a year. Didn't want to pay it,
Yep.
so I was like, oh, I'll go home and I won't pay for college. Went to LIU, basically paid nothing, and their gym it was it was okay, but it's like now it's even funnier because now I went from playing volleyball in high school, didn't play a year in college, and now I'm like I need to be athletic again. Like what am I gonna do? I need something to calm me down. Like I'm too amped up all the time, and the gym's not cutting it. So I joined the equestrian team. So I started horseback riding, which I used to do as a kid, like whatever, not a big deal. And I was like, oh yeah, like I got this, like no problem. Yeah, I mean, it was amazing. It was great. Like I learned so much, and I did this competitively. So every Sunday, I was up at 4 o'clock in the morning, heading out east to do shows, like ridiculous. But I knew I wanted to be really, really good, and that, like at that moment, was when I decided, all right, I'm going full blown in the gym. Like I am done half assing it. Like I know how to work out. I've done it for a very long time, Let's give it a real shot. So I started doing that. And at the time I was with my ex-boyfriend and he was into CrossFit. Anybody who does CrossFit, good for you, not for me.
It's a cult, let's be honest.
It's a cult. It's not my thing. I'm not into it. I have tried. I'm like, you know what? There is way too much risk of injury here. It's not for me. Do I think people who do it have the most amazing endurance? Yes. The
Yep.
fact you can row for 40 minutes and not vomit your brains out, good for you. But so he was doing that. I was like, you know what? He's in pretty good shape right now. And I'm the kind of person who I look at somebody, I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it better, or I'm going to be better. And so I started going to the gym 7 days a week. Didn't matter. Like, and I'm in school, so it's like whatever time I got out of class, like straight to the gym. And I started like playing around with my diet, and then I was going to the school gym, riding horseback riding, and I was like, you know what, I want to join a 24-hour gym. So I joined Export Fitness. I don't know if you guys have that out in Minnesota. And this is the first time I voluntarily allowed myself to get approached by a trainer, and they were like, listen, I really think I can help you out. And that's when I started doing the 6 meals a day. And it slowly like progressed into, okay, I've known how to train for a very long time. Like my whole family was athletic. Then, okay, I'm going to train and eat whatever I want, which is kind of like what a lot of people do. And then I was like, let me step it up one and like hit up, like do a trainer and see how it goes with the trainer. Worked with this trainer for, I don't know, like 6 months. He did my diet. Like we worked on my workouts. Not seeing like massive changes. I'm slimming down, but I'm not seeing like what I really want to see. So, and he was young. Like I definitely was like one of his first clients or whatever. So he ended up going back to school, and I was like, all right, now I'm trainerless. I moved houses, and I was like, okay, I want to get a gym closer to my house near the train station because now I got a job in the city, which is, by the way, I commute an hour and a half every day. So each way. So I commute 3 hours a day. So I wanted something like in near the gym, and Crunch just opened up, and I was like, "Oh, great gym! Let me try this gym. Like, fuck it, I love trying new gyms." Started at Crunch. I was approached by another trainer, and now the first time this guy approaches me, he's an older man. He's like 65, and he's just like, "You come in, you do your business, and you get out." He goes, "And I really want to help you. Like, I want to help you be the best possible version of you." So I was like, all right, like, and I had a free session, so I took the free session, liked what I saw, started working with him. We probably went on. Now he did like keto with me. Okay, it's a great thing. It works for a certain amount of time. It does not work for a lifestyle change. Like you can't keep up with it forever. And I wasn't even like real keto. I wasn't doing a ton of fats. Like I wasn't eating bacon. I was clean eating keto. And then we decided, he was like, your body's like coming in really good. I started seeing again like more changes. Like I was lean, but I wasn't like shredded. I didn't look like I was stepping out onto a magazine or taking a photo shoot. I didn't even want to take photos with myself. Like I was just not about it. And he was like, I really think you should compete. Like let's pick a show. Picked a show, started, and immediately he puts me on Whitefish, and I'm like, no, this isn't gonna work. Like I'm 16 weeks out. There's no reason for me to be. I did all my own research, and I was already dieting and doing all this stuff. And at the exact same moment that like I started this prep, my first prep, I break up with my boyfriend of 7 years. My life hits a wall, like a total wall. We were living together. We had my entire life. We had a house together, everything, right? We were together a long time. And I pick up, I literally pick up and I leave. Like I take my shit, I get my own apartment and move out. No fucking way am I doing a prep, trying to move out, get my life together, keep my job. I live 1,500 miles away from my family, so I have nobody here. It's just me. So I was in like this weird transitional state, and like I really had nothing to grasp, and I needed something tangible. And that's when I decided that I was going to balls to the wall go for a show, like a real one, like not half-assed, not do whatever. I put on a decent amount of size. Like I had these massive muscles. I wasn't shredded, but I was big. And Then probably I went the whole summer. Like this was basically last year. I went the entire summer just dieting, like of all the different trainers I had, like playing with my diet, seeing what worked for me. And a very, very good friend of mine at Crunch, my new gym that I was at, he approached me and he's like, "Listen, I've been watching you for months." Now it sounds creepy, but it's not. He's like, "I've been watching you." He goes, "You have the physique to do figure." He goes, "I am going to do this prep for Easterns. I will do it with you. I will be there the entire time and do it with you." He's like, "I have a coach for you." He goes, "Contact him if you want to do it. Go for it." He goes, "It's expensive. It's an expensive sport, but like I really think you can do it. You have the mentality for it." So I contact this coach. Right, my coach is Don Cardone. I love him. He tells me, he's like, "I'm not a big fan of like working with women." I get on the phone. I'm like, "Listen, I am balls to the wall about this. I am all in or all out. There's no. I have nothing in my life right now that is holding me back. I have no man. I have no family. I have nothing." He's like, "All right, so let's do it." And that was, I don't know, we were probably 16 or 17 weeks out at that point from Easterns, and I just dove right in. And from there, I haven't been able to let go. I mean, I've always loved the gym. I haven't taken like probably for a while. I would say like during college, I took like a week off here, a week off there, because it's college, like you don't know shit. Probably what we were 2019. I graduated in 15, so almost 3 full years. I take 1 day, 2 days off a week. I travel. I still work out. I was just in Canada. I work out. I was in Utah. Found a gym. I go home to Florida. I'm training the whole time. Like it doesn't matter where I go, what I do. I find the time. And it's not that I want to be like, "Oh look, like you can do it anywhere." It's more that if I don't do it, that mental release isn't there for me, and I get like built up, and I get stressed out. Like I can't, like my off days. If I didn't have to do cardio, I don't know what to do with myself. I'm like, what do I do? Where do I go? And even now, I can't. I don't know how to live like a normal lifestyle. It's the craziest thing. Like people are like, "Oh, like you don't you get tired of eating the same 5 things every day?" I'm like, I know what times I have to eat. I don't have to think about where my next meal's coming from. That's craziness to like if had to sit down and decide what am I going to eat for dinner 5 days a week, I'd probably blow my brains out.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't know what to do. But it's weird. It's so involved for me too because like my family's always worked out. Like my uncle was a competitive bodybuilder. I never met him. He passed away before I was born. But the first time I picked up a weight, I was 3 years old. We had a gym in my house. And apparently, I was laying on the flat bench. I'm 3 years old, and I took like 5 pound dumbbells and started like bench pressing them. It was like perfect form. My dad took one look at me, and he looked at my mom, and my dad looked, and they looked at each other. And goes, they're like, "Oh, she's your brother. Yeah, we got another bodybuilder coming." I never thought I would have competed ever. I never. And best part, I told you my friend was going to compete with me.
Mhm.
2 weeks into my prep, he goes, "Yeah, I can't afford it." Backs out of the prep. So now I am prepping all by myself. But I fell in love with not the competitiveness. Like, yes, I always was a sport person, and I always was very athletic. I mean, even now, I still snowboard all over the country. I'll horseback ride whenever I can. Um, I don't like to run, so I don't do marathons. Um, but the competitiveness wasn't so much about who's the girl next to me on stage. The competitiveness is like, I look in the mirror, I want to be better than the girl I was yesterday. And that's where my mind is. And that's where that competitiveness comes from. And then I go to the gym, and it's not that I am just lifting to lift, I'm lifting to learn, which is a big thing for me. I basically like that mind muscle connection, and I'm constantly researching, and I follow, oh my God, anybody that I follow on Instagram is most likely fitness related.
Mhm.
Anything that I watch on YouTube is fitness related. If I'm reading something, if it's not a fiction book, it's fitness related. Because I that thirst for knowledge and expanding my knowledge is so vast. I live for it. That's what I want to really do, and that's not even like what I do for work.
Yeah.